the best place to work.
I love working here.
I feel very blessed.
I love it here.
I look forward to coming to work every day, being a part of this team.
Like a family away from home.
Where everyone feels like everybody knows their name.
A city that supports you. We see that with our benefits.
A pension, vacation days, job security.
Being able to be heard.
We feel valued. We feel respected.
Lee Summit is a very progressive city.
It's growing, it's thriving.
We have this drive towards not just doing a job, but doing it with a spirit of excellence. I had the opportunity to continue to grow, regardless of 30 plus years doing this kind of work.
It's more than just dollars and cents.
We're here really to give back.
Providing a service to better a community.
To go out and serve people.
To be a part of something bigger than yourself. If I would have known what I know now, years ago, I would have been here much sooner.
Hello, Lee Summit. I'm Jordan. Here's your flash briefing for the week of November 17th. City Council will meet for a regular session Tuesday night at 6 in Council Chambers in City Hall. Meetings are open to the public or watch live on the city's YouTube channel. If you can't watch, catch the recorded meeting on demand on the YouTube channel or by subscribing to the Council Debrief newsletter, which breaks down 3 to 4 key agenda items. Subscribe at cityofls.net. Join us on November 19th at 2 p.m. for the ribbon cutting on the 3rd Street Improvements Project to celebrate the opening of Southwest 3rd Street to traffic. The project was approved by voters with the passage of the 2017 Capital Improvement Sales Tax and enhances safety, improves connectivity, and creates an inviting gateway into historic downtown Lee Summit. The ceremony will take place at the intersection of Southwest 3rd and Southwest Jefferson. Are you a strategic communicator who loves storytelling and public engagement? The City of Lee Summit is hiring a Director of Creative Services to lead its creative team and guide communications, marketing, and branding across all platforms. Apply today at lspeople.net. And head to Green Street on November 21st as we light downtown in thousands of sparkling lights for the Mayor's tree lighting at 6:30 p.m. This year's theme is Where Traditions Begin. Enjoy shopping, musical performances, a visit from Santa and Mrs. Claus, and much more to get you in the holiday spirit. Thanks for listening, and have a great week.
The City of Lee Summit has hundreds of traffic lights across its more than 1,000 lane miles, all managed by the city's Public Works traffic technicians. The work happens inside those metal boxes on the side of each intersection. Inside, technicians program a device called the controller. The controller communicates directly with each signal head via underground wires, telling each light when to turn on and off based on a programmed cycle. City traffic engineers designed this cycle to allow traffic to flow as efficiently as possible for that particular intersection. In order to best match current traffic patterns, they install something called a detection system. Detection systems have taken many forms over the years, from sensors in the pavement to radar boxes. But in Lee Summit, they primarily consist of cameras, which workers mount above the traffic signals. These cameras don't record video or your speed. Instead, they monitor the spaces at the front of the intersection and identify when a vehicle is present in a specific spot. Once a vehicle is identified, the detection system sends a message to the controller, which then adapts its standard cycle to best serve the cars that are present. The pedestrian button works in a similar way. When the button is pressed, the controller receives a signal, requesting that it allow that section of the pedestrian walkway to go, which it then inserts into the signal pattern. Technicians also install something called a conflict monitor. The conflict monitor is a device in which they program all the potential patterns of lights that would lead to a collision. If the other systems mistakenly trigger those patterns, the conflict monitor sends the intersection into flash, causing all lights to flash red and directing drivers to treat it like an all-way stop. City traffic technicians implement and maintain these systems so effectively, we rarely consider them. But every time we safely pass through a signal-controlled intersection, it's all thanks to their work. So the next time you're waiting at a red light, remember the delicate coordination of super smart systems that move you through that space safely and efficiently every day.
Waterway Car Wash is coming to the streets of West Pryor. It'll provide an express or full-service car wash and a convenience store on location. Waterway Car Wash will open in fall 2025. Ancho and Agave is coming to Summit Fair. The restaurant features Mexican food with a made-from-scratch menu in a casual setting. Ancho and Agave will open in fall 2025. Hemline's Boutique and Home has arrived downtown. The boutique offers a curated collection of clothing, specialized accessories, and trendy home goods. Shop the latest styles today. Midwest Avionics and Summit Flight Academy are building a hangar at the Lee Summit Municipal Airport. The repair station and flight school's very own hangar will open for operation in fall 2025. The Joint Operations Facility is being built next to police headquarters. The building will house fire department administration and training teams, city emergency operations, the traffic operations center, and a co-located fire and police communications center. Completion of the project is slated for spring 2026.
Officers en route, 914, armed robbery.
Lee Summit has lots of local destinations, but where do you start? Green Street, a vibrant community space in the heart of downtown, is where Lee Summit comes together. Its 3 dynamic areas have something for everyone. Green Street Market is a modern event venue and home to the downtown Lee Summit Farmers Market. Green Street Lawn is a covered performance space hosting live music, family activities, and more. Green Street Grove is a mixture of gathering spaces, an immersive playground, and bold architectural features. And all 3 areas host community events year-round. So the next time you set out to enjoy the city you love, remember, meet at Green Street.
I really love living in our historic downtown. I walk my dog around. The shops take her for, they do pub cups at Poppy's, so you can get ice cream with a little dog biscuit in it, which is her favorite thing in the world. My neighbors, we have block parties together. I really like how welcoming and how vibrant it is. It's an amazing place to live. Lee Summit's a really great community. I love living here, and I just wanted to try to find a way to give back, look out for my neighbors, for the community. I've always tried to be involved. Before serving on city council, I used to volunteer with AFS, which is an organization that hosts foreign exchange students. So my husband and I have hosted kids from around the world and then also volunteered with local families and schools. In my professional life, I'm a paralegal, and then in my personal life, I enjoy reading, sewing. I'm a quilter, so I just finished a log cabin quilt that I'm going to send to my aunt out in DC. I can't claim any of our council accomplishments for myself. This is always a team effort. But I am really excited about the farmers market and event space that we have coming in. It's still in the design phases, but I think it's going to be a really beautiful space, and it's going to really continue keeping our downtown thriving. It's been in progress for a long time, but I think that people are going to really love it when it's done. I think one of my top priorities is going to be attainable housing, that For example, I've been trying to find a place for my mom in Lee Summit. And it's really challenging finding something that really works for a retiree who doesn't have a huge budget. Just trying to make it more attainable for people no matter where they're at in their lives to be a part of our community. Community is what we make it. Everybody should get involved in whatever way they can, whether that's just voting or whether it's joining a board or a commission or even running for office. What they say, the world is run by those who show up. So get involved however you can and make a difference in the community.
This Thursday, November 20th, Legislative and Intergovernmental Relations Committee meeting to order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Chairperson Carlisle,
Present.
Councilmember Funk,
Present.
Councilmember Shields,
Here.
Mayor Baird.
Here.
Great, thank you. Can I get a approval of the agenda next?
Chair.
Approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Funk,
Aye.
Mayor Baird,
Aye.
Councilmember Shields,
Aye.
Chairperson Carlisle.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Do we have any public comments today?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, no public comments, so we'll move on to business. First thing up is 2025-7212, approval of the September 15th, 2025 Legislative and Intergovernmental Relations Committee letter. Do I have a motion?
Chair, I move to approve the September 15th action letter.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Can I get a roll call, please?
Councilmember Shields,
Aye.
Chairperson Carlisle,
Aye.
Mayor Baird,
Aye.
and Councilmember Funk.
Aye.
Okay, that being approved, we will move to the next item on the agenda, which is 2025-7093, continued discussion of 2026 legislative priorities. Mr. Head, do you want to kick this one off?
You bet. Crystal, could you please enable sharing? I want to pop it up here on the screen so you all can take a look at it. But I can't share it yet.
Sorry, Brian, that it froze for a second. Are you trying to share?
Yes.
Okay, let's see if we'll do it now. It says it's set on to share. If you go down to the settings, it's saying that I don't have host control. Do you have host control?
Let's see.
Sometimes when you lose internet connectivity, it'll bump the host to the next person.
Well.
Oh, I got it back. Hold on. I got you. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Darn thick walls.
Okay. All right. Is everybody seeing the legislative priorities document now?
Yes.
Okay.
I can see it now.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so this is the mock-up of the legislative priorities based on the language that we had talked about a couple of times, and that you all had. We weren't really done with the language. We may have jumped the gun a little bit on the prettied up version, I will say, but given the fact that we didn't have a meeting last time, I just went ahead and had them go ahead and put it into kind of what the final format would look like. So happy to go through it and take any notes on any changes that we would like. I mean, we haven't printed it, of course, yet or anything like that. So we can absolutely still change everything. But so we did kind of change the color palette slightly. We just mostly reversed it. Same basic format as we've had the last couple of years. Same basic look, but enough different that you can tell one year from the next. So just the intro that we had up there: growing community in the Kansas City area, 6th largest city in the state of Missouri, population 107,281, national recognition, shopping opportunities, outstanding community health facilities, award-winning parks and schools, including the Missouri Innovation Campus, one of the U.S. News and World Report's top places to live in Missouri for 2025-26, where residents are top priority. Economic opportunities are available. I don't know that I need to read through all of this for you, but if you had a chance prior to the meeting to look at it, I mean, I would be happy to take any feedback, make any changes you all would like.
Okay, do we have any discussion over this? Anybody have any questions or comments or things they see that they might want to change?
Share.
Mayor Baird?
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be nitpicky. The content's fine. But like it says, we support there, and then it has a colon. That looks good. And there's a space after that. And then it says revising the current revenue. And if you go to page 2, yep, at the top, it says we believe, and then it has a colon, but that's not the same size font. And then there's no space after. And you got plenty of room on that page it's not like we're trying to squeeze this in. So just trying to be consistent. I'm not I'm not even a English teacher, and I just noticed that stuff. So I just think that we want to put our best foot forward. So if you could just make those tweaks, that'd be appreciated.
We can do that.
Hey, anybody else have anything? Anything that we need to add or take out content-wise that anybody thinks? I don't see anything. Okay, so I would just say that, aside from the mayor's nit there, I think all of these boxes, and I understand this is just a mock-up, but just so we know and we make sure to say that we do want all the boxes to be equally spaced, and as we're not adding any more language to these, we can, like the last bubble, well, all three on the second page, there's plenty of space underneath to space those out a bit more. As far as the content goes, I think it sounds good. It looks good. I can't really think of anything else that I wanted to add as I was going through this. So if nobody else has anything on this, we will ask Mr. Head just to have those changes made and send it forward to council, or do you want it to come back here to us one more time?
Council, please.
Okay, so let's just get those things fixed, and then we'll move this on up to council. Everybody okay with that?
Sounds good.
Shake your head, something? Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Head, so we will move on to the next continued discussion, which is 2025-6941, the potential of a federal lobbyist.
Yes. So I have a little bit more information. So I do have, at this point, we have an idea of cost. I can't say that we know exactly what it would cost us to do this, but I did talk with our lobbyist about who they were going to kind of link up with, and they are linking up with a firm called Axiom. Now, the individual at Axiom that they felt was the most appropriate for this had previously been a legislative liaison for Sam Graves. His last name is Ruddy, Mr. Ruddy. I don't remember what his first name was, but he was the main transportation guy with the transportation committee for Sam Graves. He's now a lobbyist with Axiom. We know that he's pretty expensive. We have had reported to us that a certain larger city with more diverse transportation projects and more than just kind of the one we're looking at, the fee is in the range of $20,000 a month. Now, the lobbyists believe that we could probably reduce that and get it down to a more manageable fee, provided that we were looking at a specific project, a well-defined specific project. We might have the ability to bring that fee down somewhat. But they also think that we need to know, and we would need to know from him probably, or whoever we end up with, I guess, what is the correct timing? Where are we in the cycle? Because it could be that right now there's no point in hiring a lobbyist to do anything because we're not looking at the feds aren't looking at transportation funding. So, they wanted to make sure that we weren't kind of throwing good money after bad when we were looking at a large project like that we weren't, just kind of handing money out for several months when there's nothing coming to the feds to be looking at. So there's kind of a timing issue, making sure that we're getting the timing right. And then also with the feds and with a project of the size that we were looking at, because I know we were looking at 470, there's also an expectation that the regional planning folks at MARC are going to be involved, that MoDOT is going to be involved, and everybody has to be singing from the same songbook in order for us to be able to be successful pushing a project forward at the federal level. So we also had a little concern after discussion was, well, if we just hire somebody and we start pushing for this funding, it looks like we're trying to jump the line when our local partners that we work with are saying, here are the priorities. So we probably need to work more internally to get that priority established for that project. And then when the time is right, go hire that lobbyist. Or alternatively, through one of the various groups that are in Eastern Jackson County, we may want to get a coalition so that we could afford that high power person instead of just trying to go it alone. It may be more advantageous to do that in the long term. So those were things that I talked about with the lobbyist. I told them I would bring them to you all and kind of see how you all were feeling, have some discussion about it, and maybe see what we wanted to do. But it does look like a federal lobbyist is, orders of magnitude more expensive than our local lobbyist.
Okay. Do I have any questions or comments?
Sure.
Councilmember Shields?
Thank you. A couple of thoughts. One is, I think with something like this, especially if we're talking about something like 470 improvements, that a regional approach probably makes sense. And trying to work with local partners, both to make sure that this is a project that's on the, the regional list, and then also to maybe engage with them on lobbyist services that are beneficial to everybody in the region. The other thought is, Axiom is a specifically Republican firm, right? That's what you're saying, or run by?
Oh, I don't know. I just know that this individual happened to work with Sam Graves, and Representative Graves is still the chair of the Transportation Committee.
Sure. And that makes sense. I guess what I was going for is that, right now, Washington, D.C. is in full Republican trifecta, so that maybe makes sense right now. But long term, I wonder if we wouldn't want to be thinking about more bipartisan firm. I know some lobbyists specifically make sure to hire people both sides of the aisle, so that no matter who's the decision maker, that you have someone to talk to them, that you can build bipartisan support, especially for something like infrastructure that doesn't need to be partisan. So I just wonder, kind of, as we're thinking about who the right fit is for that, what makes sense with the specific ties to Representative Graves in the transportation space. Maybe that makes the most sense, but just kind of questions out.
Okay. Good questions. Councilmember Funk?
Thank you, Chair. I do know, not this past MARC meeting, but our previous MARC TTPC meeting, I think I-470 was mentioned of possibly being moved. I think they had 3 tiers, 1, 2, and 3 of priorities, and I think I-470 was down at the bottom of tier 3, but there was some discussion of maybe getting it to tier 2. So it wasn't a big discussion, but it was something that got mentioned. And I know Michael Park and I talked briefly about the next round of discussions that happen. Maybe we try to push a little harder to get that into tier 2, and maybe that helps. Maybe it doesn't with MARC.
Yeah, so with that committee, Councilmember Funk, if it was in tier 2, would that put us able to really go to DC and ask for this funding without jumping ahead of our partners, or would we need to be up in tier 1?
I think we would probably have to be in tier 1, but I think at tier 2 it would be a stronger conversation with MoDOT. I think they're a little bit more driving force of 470 versus, I mean, some of the projects that were up in tier 1 were more bridges, if you will. So I think it would be a discussion with MoDOT to see how they would feel about partnering. If we got some momentum, out of Washington, D.C., I think, MoDOT's going to jump on. I mean, I think they feel it is a priority project, but right now when they're just looking at dollars and cents and there's no lobbyist involved, I think we're still sitting in the low 2, top of the 3 category.
Okay, and then that project they're talking about there, is it just from, like Lee Summit to Independence where it goes up north, or is it all the way the loop around?
I think the discussion and the way I understood it, Chair Carlisle, is from the overpass at 50 Highway and 470 where it comes back down to 2 lanes all the way to, I believe it goes to 40 Highway with some added lanes going over to I-70. I think it just carries the eastbound, I think the eastbound lane to I-70 gets widened. But yes, I would say it goes all the way to I-70, but it didn't quite make sense to me what they were doing on the other side of the 40 Highway Bridge.
Okay. So is Independence in that discussion as well? Or are they even?
I rarely see someone from Independence at the MARC meetings. So it's, typically on our side, it's typically us in Blue Springs, and then you get your smaller communities, Green Valley, and those type of things.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, thank you. Did you have anything else that you want? Since I just completely took over your time, sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Mayor, did you have anything?
I think what Councilmember Shields was saying is probably is relevant. Like, you don't know the long-term dynamics of and the swings that go, as far as who's in control. However, I guess when we've gone to Washington, D.C., we've typically gone and we try to get in front of our elected officials, and we don't always have a lot of success. And when we do, it's very brief, it's very short. It's so we know that we have this need. It's really hard because the senators don't. They're very clear that they're not going to do any appropriations. So but at the same, at least not for us. But maybe if we had a lobbyist that could, that's on the inside and could give insight and could help. I don't know the workings well enough. On the House side, they do appropriations, but we've not had success, that much success with like our current representative getting the appropriations for Lee Summit, even though he's really championing a lot of stuff for Jackson County cities. So I guess what I'm thinking is long-term wise, we need lobbyists. We're probably typically going to have for the most part Republican representation in Missouri. Not all, but at least our senators have been that way for a bit now. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'd be okay with Axiom and picking one that's leans one way. I heard Mr. Head say that he wasn't your report, Mr. Head, said that they were pretty heavily they had deep relations onto the Republican side, so that could be an advantage and such. But unless we have options for lobbyists that work both sides, it's really kind of hard to make a decision. But if we had to, we probably have to lean that way because that would be best for Lee Summit. Does that make sense? So, but I don't know that we were talking about spending 20
That.
months, which is $240,000 a year. That's on the high end of what these cities, these comparison cities that you put in the packet are.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting to spend $240,000 a year.
Right.
I know he's not, Mr. Head is not recommending that, but he's just saying that's what that group would probably cost. So do we need to do more research and find more lobbyists to choose from?
Well, I think, I mean, we could obviously, but if that's who our state lobbyist is going to hook up with, if we wanted to try and keep costs down, that would probably be best because they could maybe work some deal that we only have one project, yada, yada, yada. Also, I don't see the City of Independence on the list for a lobbyist, nor do I see Mark on here. I'm not sure if you even looked at Mark to see if they had a lobbyist, or if the way that they're set up, they get to have one. I'm not even sure about that, but I would like to know that if they have a lobbyist and if they do, who they use. Did somebody want to say something? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Councilmember Funk.
Just a curious question. Obviously, we're looking at our relationship with the church ground there along 470. I don't know, Mayor. You've had more conversations with those folks. I'm sure they have some pretty powerful lobbyists in Washington D.C. If it's worth having a conversation with them of, hey, who are you using? Mm-hmm. Can we get maybe some push from them as well with their lobbyist?
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You know, they have a pretty good chunk of land up there. They want to get going, so that would definitely, you know, our 470 project we've been looking at would definitely benefit them. So yeah, if we could reach out to them, that'd be great too.
I've asked them those kinds of questions before, and I got no answers from the church representatives.
Maybe we call in somebody we know that used to be here. See if he can get us some answers.
Maybe.
Yeah. Councilmember Shields, did you have something?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to ask, do we know the other comparator cities that we've gotten, like, that we know what they spend, that they have federal lobbyists? Do we know who they use? Do we have that list to see what other options there might be? Because it might be more cost effective to try to coordinate this through our state lobbyists, but you know, we don't know until we take a look at what all the options are.
Right.
I'll let Crystal answer that question because I think she had reached out to a number of other cities. I don't know that we have any more information right now, but I'll let her answer that question.
Brian, on the list that Sean put together for you, some of them do list who the registered agent or the registered lobbyist was. I just don't have access to the list from here. Are you able to bring it up?
I think the one in the packet just had the spending, but I didn't see anything that listed the names.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at it right now to see if I can find anything, but
I don't think he sent that full document to you guys because it wasn't finished. He was waiting on some. So a lot of them he pulled because there's a public database where you could pull who has a lobbyist and who that lobbyist is and how much they pay them or how much they spent on them in the prior year. But on some of them, he was waiting on confirmation. Like the City of Independence is listed, but it was unclear if it was the city or the utility or if it was for a specific project because it was only for like a year. So he was waiting to get some information back before putting it out there like a continuing cost, trying to be as accurate as he could when you guys are making decisions. So
right, yeah.
But we can also have him pull up the rest of that and send it to you so you have it.
Yeah, if you just want to shoot us that in an email and let us look through that. I think we definitely do need to get a federal lobbyist, but I do think we need to definitely coordinate with Mark, City of Independence, see if we can get, I'll make myself a note, some confirmation on that church land up there, if they're using anybody and if they are, who they are. And then see if you can maybe tie down more with our state lobbyist, what they think, if they'd had any more conversations at the federal level to see what that might cost us if we're really just shooting at one project and not really send them in for everything.
Yeah, and their thought was, I think if you wanted to be successful on this particular project, it made sense to, connect up with the guy who has the most direct in to the chairman of the transportation committee of the appropriating body. So that makes sense. If we want a more just sort of general service, someone who's watching and reporting to us, I mean, that could be a different relationship. And I'll talk with them about that, because I know the way I reached out to them is kind of the way we started talking about it, which was really with regard to I-470 and how we could get that moved to a higher priority. And so that's what they had focused on. But I can talk to them more about a more just general service where primarily we're just reporting and that kind of thing, understanding that if we want them to really go after some big project like 470, it's probably going to either be a different lobbyist or a different team in that firm or something, and probably be additional cost.
Right.
I mean, I can have that. I'll absolutely have that conversation with them.
That'd be great. Okay. Anything else on this?
Chair,
please.
I just did a quick search under the different doing business as names we've had for the property owner of those large lots of land, and I don't see anything yet, but we'll try to pull up their corporate papers and see what their other names could be under, because I don't see a lobbyist listed, and that would be unusual to not have one for their size. So
right, yeah.
We'll
Okay.
keep looking.
Anybody else have anything for this topic? I don't think making a decision on a federal lobbyist right now makes sense, since all I keep hearing is that they're going to shut down again in January, which is awful, but it doesn't make sense to throw money at anybody right now if we can't get past January with the government open. So anybody else have any different thoughts, or we just want to continue this discussion again till next time with the additional information we've asked for? Are we good?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I don't see anything else. Now we have roundtable. Anybody have roundtable?
Chair, one item.
Please.
Just quickly, pre-filing of bills in the Missouri legislature starts December 1. So with your permission, I may ask our lobbyist to just hop on and do a quick report at our December meeting, because we will have had, I believe it's on the 15th is the scheduled date. We will have had a couple of weeks of pre-filing, and they might have some ideas of where things are headed and can kind of give us, and I might even be able to have them talk a little bit more about the federal lobbyist issues as well. They might be able to do a little bit more research between now and then. I just think it's a good idea right at the beginning of the session, somewhere towards the middle, and then of course at the end, at the very least, to have them pop on and meet with you all.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea for the December meeting. Yeah. And it does look like it's on the 15th, if that works for everybody. If not, please email in so we know. Go ahead. Anything else?
Chair, I just had one thing. I know that you guys run into our state legislatures representatives more often than staff does, but they've been really helpful over the last few months with our grant department and providing letters of support. A lot of our state grants now require letters of support from your state legislative representatives, and they've been very quick to respond. Sometimes we haven't had a lot of notice about the deadlines because those can change. And so if you run into them, please thank them for their continued support and for their staff just hustling to get those letters out. It really does make a difference in the grant awards. So,
okay, great. Thank you for letting us know that. Okay, with nothing else, I will adjourn this meeting at 12:03. And remember to email in if you can't make the 15th so we can see what we need to do about that. All right?
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.